Hey everyone, Tristan here for our second week diving into 1 Thessalonians. And don't worry, I know I was here last week, but for the rest of the series, you're not going to hear from me anymore. You're going to hear from some wonderful people who are part of the Bethel Church family, and I'm just really looking forward to what they will contribute on here on the podcast. But I got a question for us to start us off today. So why are you a Christian? Why are you a Jesus follower? Why are you living your life or, attempting to live your life set apart from the world, hopefully within Christian community and aiming to be more like Jesus in your words and your actions? Maybe you can pinpoint a moment in your life where you believed for the first time. Or perhaps your experience it's been more gradual throughout your life as you've experienced God's faithfulness and love towards you in the ups and the downs of your life. The gospel is what saved you. And God used men and women to disciple and shape you in your faith. The power of the gospel is what has saved and sanctified us, and it's that power that compels us to share it with others and to make disciples. Easier said than done though, right? In 1 Thessalonians 2:4, Paul says this. He says, "Just as we have been approved by God to be entrusted with the gospel, so we speak, not to please people, but rather God, who examines our hearts." So that means we please God when we share his gospel with others and make disciples. But we're not trying to earn, brownie points or gold stars with God. When we are following in the ways of Jesus and listening to the Spirit inside of us, we will become convicted and compelled to share the gospel with the people around us and to encourage newer or younger believers to grow in their faith. Are you struggling with that conviction? I have two practical ways I want to share for you to help you grow as a disciple who makes disciples and is convicted to share the gospel. So the first would be to reflect on a time in your life when you were most captivated by your love for Jesus, right? So there's a couple ways you can do that. You could write it down, you could pray and talk to God about it, or talk to a close friend about what that time in your life was like. What was that joy that you felt? Often it helps for us to go back to reflect on a time when we were really growing in our faith, or just a time where, like I said, you felt really captivated and felt a lot of joy in your faith, in your relationship with God. And then what would it look like to share that joy with someone else who hasn't experienced it? Okay, so the second way would be to make sure that you are spending daily time in silence and solitude with God, praying for people in your life who are far from him, and asking him to show you who is in your life that you can share the gospel with, or someone that you can encourage along in their faith. So why are you a Christian? We know that we don't get saved to try to earn favor with God, but God has given us the incredible and weighty commission to go and share the good news with all people. And we have his Spirit in us at every step. So walk worthy of God, who calls you into his own kingdom and glory.